Good morning. I just wanted to show a deck that arrived yesterday. It's not really, I guess it doesn't really work with the Into the Wild Woods theme, but I don't know, maybe kinda, sorta, not really. It would have been more appropriate in October, but it didn't arrive in October. This is called the Tinker's Dam Tarot. I get a chance to kind of cuss on a YouTube video, if that's cussing. It's by Duck Soup Productions, and the person or persons I exchanged emails with about, where is it, shipping information. I was polite. They were not. They were like, you don't get a tracking number. Okay. So that kind of soured the experience, but that's okay. They have some other decks I would like to get. This card was sitting on something I call a unihorn because it has a little horn. I have no idea what this thing is. Incense burner, cigarette holder thing. I don't know. It kind of caught my eye at a store that's nearby called Anything and Everything. That guy collects anything and everything. I've gotten lots of old locks and skeleton keys from him. I guess he goes to auctions and things, or he just likes to collect everything. The place is filled with stuff. It is a huge, like most of downtown on Main Street is empty, abandoned buildings. He just bought a whole strip of them and filled it with all that junk. Well, junk unless you want to buy it like I did. I go in there quite a bit to get stuff. He knows I want keys and locks. Not that I'm Houdini or anything, but I just find them interesting. I don't know. And I can pick a lock, so it's an okay skill, especially if you forget your keys a lot. But this is a Tinker's Dam Tarot, and I want to read a little bit. That's what the backs look like. You get to pick your back. And the reason you don't get tracking information, and another place that I bought cards from on Etsy, she was very polite and upfront about it and said, well, they don't come from me. They come from Make Playing Cards. And these do too. As you can tell, almost indicators that, it's in a box that has a window pane so you can kind of see what the deck is. These are okay boxes. I mean, they're obviously the cheaper ones that Make Playing Cards has available. But what I wanted to do was read a little bit because you don't get a booklet, nothing. You got to go download the PDF. So I'll read from that a little bit to give you a background on this deck. It says, little remembered today, Augustus Frederick Norwood, I guess he was born in 1897, was a scientist, inventor, and occult researcher whose groundbreaking efforts to find the connection between hard science and the supernatural were dismissed by his contemporaries. Apparently, he dabbled in everything, like a lot of us. He had some fiancée, Liana Quigley. She's in here somewhere. She's the Mayoress of Swords. And we'll get to another issue with this in a second. Apparently he retreated. I don't know, jilted is the word they use. Jilted by his then fiancé. So Norwood retreated even further from society and began to focus his efforts on bridging the gap between the worlds of the living and the dead. So if I try to make this fit in a little bit with today's theme for Into the Wild Wood, then it would be the key word for today is boundaries. So there's a boundary. Of course, if you type in the word boundaries on Google, you get 220 some million hits, and the majority of them are psychology self-help books on the first page, where it's about you personally setting a boundary between you and other people, even people you may have fallen in love with. But it takes what? It's like near the bottom of the page before you actually get to where it just has a definition for the word. I found that interesting. Of course, Google's about advertising, so we knew that already. Apparently, he invented something that said it worked, the Immortus Telegraphica. So I guess you could send Morse code to the dead and they would send it back. Because if I remember, a telegraph is Morse code. That would be a awful conversation. And it says, what does it say? It was destroyed in a fire on the night of blah blah. Norwood walked out of his workshop and was never seen again. But the issue in here is, in the court cards, as they're calling them, you got the mayor of whatever, you got the mayoress of whatever, you got the soldier of whatever, but in the PDF you got messenger of whatever, fire, air, earth, whatever the other one is. But on the card, messenger is courier, not messenger. So again, kind of off-putting. You pay $68 for something and they can't read it. This is a tiny PDF. I mean, it would have made a tiny little white book. It looks like we have, what do we have for suits? Fire, water, earth. Fire, water, earth. Air. Fire, water, earth, air. Okay, that's the 4 suits. So let me move this out so it's probably causing a glare and get back to this. I've already taken too long just to get to this part, probably. But there is a little card with probably just what I read. I can't see it. It's kind of small, but I think it's the same thing I just read off from the PDF. And that's it. You get that. You get this extra card. And this is the equivalent of the Fool, the Zeitgeist, I guess it's pronounced. And I forget what the book said about it, but it looks like there's a chessboard. You can see the scream there in the corner from Munch. I'm not sure about the other 2 things, but I don't like that they have so much border. I mean, there's like, 1, 2, 3 kinds of borders there going on. Too much border, but that's okay. I could cut that off, couldn't I? Yes, you could. So they're okay. Just expensive. Is the cardboard and cardstock? It's okay. It's not great. If I bent it, it would stay bent for sure. I'm almost to the point where if I make cards and get them printed, I'm going to go with the poker size and the air cushion like you're used to with Magic cards. But there's the major arcana, kinda. It says it does relate back to Rider-Waite-Smith's system, but in its own way, using its own symbols of the times. Those times, I guess the 30s. So let's look at the first suit. I'm going to knock something over. This is fire. And I'll try to cover up that one with this one. There we go. It's fire. And you can see courier, not messenger. Courier, soldier, mayoress, mayor. And I think that's the correct order. They didn't come that way. They're all shuffled up. And, I see this, images like this and this. These 2, like, World War One, World War, I guess maybe World War One or some war. And you wonder why that one photo you always see doesn't show up, where the guy has experienced shell shock and he has that bizarre smile on his face. You think that would have been in a deck at some point. Maybe there's a copyright thing, I don't know. Here's the suit water. Let's get a look at this. I kind of like that one. Is it straight? Yep, it's okay. I'm Still using that new LED light to kind of bounce off the back wall, which hopefully doesn't create a shadow of my giant head, but I don't think so. Hey, is your head really that giant? Well, it might be. Depends. I kind of like that one. Kids are a little creepy. They're always creepy when they make kids into that, what do you call it, sepia? You make anybody sepia, S-E-P-I-A. They kind of get a little creepy, don't they? Fairly certain I've had an apartment with that bathroom floor. Don't like it. How would you take a shower now without getting water everywhere? I do like the painting in the background. Not sure about that big window while taking a shower, but that's just me. I am going to do Into the Wildwood card pulls. My thinking is there's 30 days in November, so I'm not going to put cards back in. I'm actually using a drum to shuffle them with some numbers for other reasons I won't go into. But I want to keep pulling them out so I get to every card in the Wildwood Tarot and forced to think about the meaning. It may not always work out. It may not. That's not very random. That's not what would actually happen if I was using it, of course. I'd be putting the cards back and shuffling again. But that's what I'm going to do. And I think you got to average, what, 2 point something cards per day, back of the envelope math. But here we're looking at air. And this is interesting, the 9 of air. Memento Mori, I think, on the tombstone there. Remember the dead. So yeah, this would have been far more appropriate in October, but that's nice. That's a little creepy. That's okay. That was air. The last suit is earth. Whoops. So we got earth here. I mean, it's kind of extra creepy. What's going on with that? And men don't ride ponies. Pretty sure of that. Not that I've tried, but I don't think I would ride a pony. This is earth. 3 of earth. Something about the character of the deck reminds me of Anne Ryan, and I'm probably mispronouncing her name. But she wrote Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead, other books. Of course, she had a particular theme going with service, but that's okay. So that was a quick, hopefully, show. Where did I put the card? Dude, you hid the card. I know, I did. I didn't mean to. Ugh. Sorry. There's a quick, hopefully, quick show of the Tinker's Damn Tarot. And I won't say the company name due to the rudeness in the email, but I kind of like it. They have some other things I want, like the Rackham Oracle, but we'll see. I have to get over this first. So with that, I will say peace.